Democrats don't care about children. Democrats don't care about children's illegal or American. They're evil. Look at the Wicked Witch of the West riding around on her broom. That's how a witch sounds, right? On the broom?
Yeah.
I have with me Feminista Jones. And Feminista Jones is a sex-positive black feminist from New York City. How many partners should a person have sexually?
A person can have as many sexual partners as they want.
Really?
Yes,
but once they do that, though, they become whores.
Well, according to you.
No,
but,
according to the truth. And no man wants to marry a whore.
Well, why are you speaking only about men? What about what women want?
And men are whore makers, too. And no woman wants a whore maker because they can never be trusted.
Well, I think that we have very different ideas on what a quote-unquote whore is. I think that
What's your definition of a whore?
I don't like to use the word. I think it's a word made up to make women look bad for enjoying sex.
No, it's made up to bring shame to women and men having sex with everybody and their mama. You have what these blacks are calling knockout games, where they're going and knocking white people out, and in many cases killing them simply because they hate white.
They're not. It was just revealed that was actually made up.
It wasn't made up.
Propaganda.
No,
that is not happening.
Who revealed that?
So there was an article. I think in the New York Times, if I'm not mistaken.
Feminist, we found that article you mentioned about the black knockout game wasn't real. It was not the New York Times. It was written on the Huffington Post by some liberal, godless black man. So you can't get that any credit at all. Do you have sex with a bunch of different guys?
I don't think you, as a older, respected black man, has the right to ask me about my sex life. I think that's borderline perverted.
You're promoting sodomy, and you're telling these folks how to have sex with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. But when I ask, are you having sex with more than one man, you felt ashamed about that. And said
I didn't feel ashamed at all.
But it seemed hypocritical.
I just didn't feel like signifying the question with an answer.
I know, but it seems hypocritical that you don't want to say that you're doing these things, but yet you promote these things. And by the way, happy White History Month. For those who don't know, July is White History Month. I started this month because white people are not recognized and appreciated. And if it wasn't for white Americans, there would be no America. All right. And all these POCs, people of color, who are coming here and who are already here, and you're angry at the white people. If it wasn't for them, you'd be stuck in your S-hole countries. From this point forward, July is White History Month. All right? Tell everybody and their mama about it as well.
I don't know where you got your schooling at, but your vocabulary is horrible.
I know. Isn't that a mess?
Horrible.
A mess.
I don't understand
how they
put you on television, all the white guys behind them. You need to take lessons from these guys.
Okay, I will, but that's good advice. It's so amazing to me, too, that I run a national organization for 28 years that I founded. I write books up and down the coast. I give public speeches around the country and been invited to do it around the world. I do a radio and a national TV show. I can barely speak English. I have a cleft lip and all that, so my palate, it's a mess. It's all from God. I don't understand it either.
How did you get that job is my point.
God.
I'm older than you, Jesse. I'm 71 years old. I'm older than you, and I live I'm retired, and I live better than you.
And you're still angry, insecure,
no, I'm not
emotional.
Angry. I just want you to know, how did you get a job? And you can't. Your vocabulary is horrible.
But it's not so bad that it didn't get your attention and made you call in.
I don't understand how people listen, can hear you, man, can understand you.
The same way you are. You should be grateful that white people founded and created the greatest country on this side of heaven so that you would not be stuck in Africa or somewhere.
Well, so I wouldn't be stuck in Africa.
Yeah.
Well, then, you know what? you can conclude yourself in that, Jesse.
Well, I am grateful. That's why I started and founded White History Month, because I'm grateful.
Well,
Are you grateful?
Started. White folks didn't start it.
No, I started it. Why aren't you fit to be a father?
I believe that I'm a little bit too selfish to be a father.
Oh, so you're a beta male, huh?
A beta male, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
That was a question.
Oh, a beta male? That's
Are you a beta male?
Like when you're cooning for the white man, does it really feel like you're like actually making any sort of statement?
You said cooning for the white man?
Yes.
Are
Sir.
you white or black?
I'm a white man. You definitely blame black people for pretty much everything that's wrong with them, but you ignore all the systemic problems that do clearly exist with police brutality and things of that nature.
There is no police brutality. Because your father is Satan, all you're doing, and then your
father is Satan.
And your lack of respect for black people, all you're doing is helping them stay in their hellhole by making excuses for them, because secretly in your heart, you know that you want them in that condition so that you can feel sorry for them, you can use them and all that, because you don't love black people. If you loved black people, you would not make up excuses for them. You would be honest with them and hope that they will overcome. You don't love black people. You're a hypocrite.
No, sir. You just said that my father was Satan?
Yes.
Do you understand how disrespectful that is?
No, it's true.
I've been very respectful to you.
And you said that I was
Satan
cooning.
is not my father.
When you said that I was cooning for the white man, was that respecting me?
Well, you are.
So are you respecting me when you say that?
Well, I have no meaning to...
Were you respecting me when you said that? Give me a yes or no.
No.
I didn't think so. So you're being a hypocrite.
I didn't believe you deserved the respect because I think you're kind of a piece of shit.
So when I say Satan is your father, do you think I believe you deserve respect?
No, but Satan is not my father.
He is. Satan is your father. You're a weak man. You're not worthy of children according to you. And the reason you're weak because Satan is your daddy. If Satan wasn't your daddy, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? If Satan wasn't your daddy, you wouldn't be a weak beta male.
Yeah, but what do you mean by beta male?
A beta male is a male who look like a man but think like a woman. And that's you. I have with me Benjamin Dixon. Benjamin is the founder of the Progressive Army and host of the Benjamin Dixon Show. And I want to talk to Benjamin about President Trump, the fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, how he failed this country so desperately. Your first of all, your impression of the Great White Hope. This is the first year of him being elected. How would you rate him on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best?
10 being the best. I mean, for your audience, I'm sure your audience was going to say that Donald Trump is a 15, right? But in reality, in every measurable sense, he's a 1, a negative. If we could give a negative rating, he's going to go down as the worst president in the history of this country and the most incompetent and the most laughable president that we've ever had. He's an embarrassment. He's a stain.
I didn't ask you about Obama. I'm talking about.
You're talking about your great white hope,
right.
Your great white messiah of Donald Trump.
Right. You
right.
gave me
Jesse, how do you
Obama. I didn't ask about Obama.
You're a man of God, right? You're Reverend Jesse Lee, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So how can you honestly sit here and say to your audience with a straight face that you think Donald Trump is a great president? He's an embarrassment. How do you look at what he does?
An embarrassment? What has he done?
He has a speaking ability of, I mean, just he can't string together a coherent sentence to save his life, right? So he's
Benjamin,
yeah.
calm down.
Uh-huh.
How number one?
You asked me a question, and I'm answering.
How is he an embarrassment?
How is he? The better question would be, how is he not?
No.
Embarrassment?
How is he
How
an
is
embarrassment?
he not an embarrassment?
That's not an answer.
Look at how he. Okay, let's go. How much time do I have to give this specific
Give me a
answer?
quick answer as to how is he an embarrassment? What has he done to embarrass the country?
He is an embarrassment on domestic policy.
In what way?
In every sense of the way.
No, that's not an answer.
It's
In
like
what
asking,
way?
how's a son? How's he? Okay, I'm going to do it from your perspective. How is he not an embarrassment when he couldn't even get? He has the House, he has the Senate, and he has the White House. He can't even repeal Obamacare that you guys have been trying to do for the last 8 years. That should be an embarrassment to you. It's an embarrassment that he's trying to repeal and get 30 million people off of health care. That should be an embarrassment.
You're not answering the question.
Your goal, I'm answering your question. He should be an embarrassment to you. Here's number two. Why he should be an embarrassment to you? Number two is because he can't get tax breaks through. This is like the crown jewel of Republicanism, and Republicans are coming out in mass against a bill that should be a slam dunk for him. So from your vantage point, how is he not an embarrassment?
You realize you didn't give us anything, right? You're just throwing out words. But President Trump is dealing with rhino Republicans who don't want him there. They don't want to do anything for the country. And in spite of that, he's still moving the country forward when it comes to dealing with the taxes. He now has made a way has been made so that he can take the taxes to the next level. He have put a conservative judge on the Supreme Court. He's brought back jobs already, and he's made a way where companies that left this country because of restrictions or regulations and high taxes are now coming back.
Are you talking about the
unemployment
jail in Indiana?
The unemployment filing have gone down under the president. Are those the embarrassing things that you're talking about?
When did Barack Obama's budget end?
No, that's not the question.
When did the fiscal year for Barack Obama end?
Are those the embarrassing things that you're talking about?
Well, when did Barack Obama's fiscal year end? When is
You're
Donald
not
Trump's
answering the
economy?
question.
When does Donald Trump's economy take place into full effect?
Are those the embarrassing things that you're talking about? There was, I don't know what state this was in or what this person was running for, but two transgenders won. One Democratic male pretended to be a woman beat a Republican who was against men going into women's bathroom. Are you for transgenders running for offices in our country?
Why would we not be? Why should they not be able to run for office in the United States?
No, I'm asking you, are you for that? Are you in support of transgenders running for office?
Clearly. So let me answer this two ways. One, yes. Two, I'm in favor for anyone and everyone who's a citizen of the United States to run for office. Why would you not be? Why should they be relegated to not being able to hold office in the United States of America?
Just as in the military, if a man or a woman is confused about his or her gender, that says that they're not stable enough to run the country. You were quoted as saying Jesus was a socialist.
Absolutely.
And I'm just following his lead.
Absolutely.
As a Christian, you believe that Jesus was a socialist?
As a Christian, do you believe Jesus was a capitalist?
Answer that question, Benjamin.
Particularly, I mean, see, I guess you don't understand that simple principle. Yes, of course, Christ. I mean, honestly, you can't pigeonhole the kingdom of God economic system. And what Republicans and conservatives like yourself have done for an entire generation is try to make a seamless conflation. That question either. I actually am answering your question.
You're rambling on about nothing.
It's really that.
Why do you believe that Jesus? What was it about? What's about Jesus? What about Jesus makes him a capitalist? That made you think that he was a socialist?
What about Jesus makes him a capitalist to you?
I didn't say he was a capitalist either. I never said that. I never said that.
Clearly, do you? Okay, so do you believe he's a capitalist?
I never said that, and that's not my belief.
Yeah, what's your belief? What is the kingdom of God economic system?
You're running away from the question again.
What is the kingdom? No, the real core question is because you have
Jesus?
I'm sorry, Jesse. I can't entertain elementary questions, right? Because you have this rudimentary understanding of the of society in general, and so you're trying to make it a strict dichotomy, right? A on-off binary to say either he was a capitalist or socialist. But the question really remains is that if you don't believe his system was socialist, then what do you believe it was?
Why do you believe his system was a socialist system? Why do you believe that as a Christian?
I believe that it was far closer to socialism than it was to the capitalism that many Christians are trying to shove down, are saying that he was. Christ was not a capitalist.
What was about
Christ
Jesus? What did Jesus do or say to imply that he was a socialist? You're not answering that. And you said you believe that he was a socialist.
Yeah.
What about him that caused you to believe that?
What did he tell the rich young ruler?
You're still asking questions. You're not answering questions.
What did he tell? I'm sure your audience understands that question.
What was it about Jesus?
I mean, you can't even tell me the answer to that simple
What
question.
did he say?
You're not really on terms. You're not really able to have a conversation.
Benjamin, what did Jesus do or say that implied to you that he's a socialist and caused you to believe that?
Yeah, so, I mean, I just answered the question.
No, you didn't. You asked
he had
the question.
a fabulous conversation. He had a fabulous conversation with a rich young ruler.
Benjamin, what about that conversation that made you think that Jesus was a socialist? Answer that. What did he say to that guy or do to that guy that caused you, Benjamin, to believe that Jesus was a socialist? Benjamin Dixon, I'd like to know that.
You want him to be called the Great White Hope.
Yes, he is the Great White Hope. Not to be called that, it's a reality.
That's not a reality. That's a joke.
What do you mean it's a joke?
He's not the Great White Hope.
Well, who is
He's
the Great White
joke?
If he is not the Great White Hope, who is?
There isn't any.
Well, no, pay attention to Mr. Trump. Have you heard of the Wicked Witch of the West, Maxine Waters?
I've been watching your show, and that is not the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yes, it is. She is going insane. If somebody don't stop that woman, I think she's going to end up in one of those white padded rooms with that tight, with that straight jacket thing on.
Why doesn't he ever pay attention to the darker people?
What do you mean?
That's my thing.
What kind of attention you want? How is he treating the American people of all races?
I'm choking.
I bet you are. And see,
Because your minstrel show.
What?
Your minstrel show is choking me.
My minister show?
Your minstrel show.
What does that mean?
When you were singing, Hit the Road, Jack.
Yeah, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. That's what they need to tell Colin Kaepernick and all those godless football players who are turning their back on the country. But is there
They are
any...
not turning their back on the country.
No. Let's stay with the Great White Hope. Is there anything else in this?
I can't understand why you would call him the Great White Hope.
Because he's
you say you don't see color.
But I do see color. I see blacks. I see whites. I see whatever color Hispanics are.
How would you call him the Great White Hope? Why not just the Great Hope?
I do see color. I just know that our issue is not about color. It's about character.
So why wouldn't you call him the Great Hope?
Because he's
Answer that for me.
Because he's a white man.
Okay, so why wouldn't you just call him the Great Hope?
Because he's a white great hope. He's a man of character. He loved the country. He put the country first. He's fighting against evil, and he's a white man. No woman want a whore maker. I have with me Heart Bastard.